All right, man. 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 We gotta go ahead and get this background music down. It's your boy, it's TPJ. I'm live. It's late. I'm on the Central Coast time, so I'm not gonna be doing all of that screaming tonight. But I am so thoroughly disgusted at what I just watched. Y'all know me. If I got something to say, I'm not gonna wait to say it. I know Hoops and Brews is tomorrow. We live here on the internet. If you want to call in, you can call in if you want to. I'm only gonna be on here for about 30 more minutes, but feel free to call in. But I'm mad I showed that. I should block this motherfucker. But bro, I am. First off, let's go ahead and let's just intro it, get it off top. The New York Knicks completed one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history, one of the greatest basketball victories I've ever seen in my life, one of the most astonishing performances I've ever seen in my life, one of the most incredible performances I've seen in my life from the Knicks. And from the San Antonio Spurs, it was honestly one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've been rooting very tough for Wemby. I wanted Wemby to do well and, capture what he needed to capture in order for him to be a great player. But based upon what I have seen from him, I don't believe that he's ready yet. And he got to get in the gym. Wemby got to bulk up. He got to go ahead and really work on himself and his game this summer, because it was far too many times, far. And actually, my mic, I got a new mic stand. But far too many times, I witnessed Victor Wembanyama roam away from the basket. The man shot 8 threes tonight. Like, what do you need to shoot 8 threes tonight for? The Spurs, at one point in time, during the midst of a 20 to, I believe, 4 run from the Knicks, shot 8 3-pointers in a row that they all missed. And I have to, number one, take my hat off and give Miss Johnson and all of those guys credit for showing up today. But they fucking failed. And they failed miserably. And it is embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing what we saw, and they should all be ashamed of themselves. They should honestly, genuinely all be ashamed of themselves at the level of effort that they displayed in the second half. They should all be ashamed of themselves, and every single coach on the San Antonio Spurs should be ashamed of themselves. Every single player, with the exception of Dylan Harper, should be ashamed of themselves. And Knicks fans, congratulations, you are going to win a championship. I have no more faith in the Spurs. Wemby, all of that GOAT talk is out the window right now, bro. Like, you didn't get swept. LeBron got swept first time, but honestly, them losing that game tonight was way worse than if Wemby would have gotten swept. What I saw tonight was just honestly I can't put it into words. So I'm just going to describe how I felt during the game. So during the game, I didn't even brush my hair, none of that. So during the game, literally, I came home, took off all my stuff, and was like, yo, I got to set up to live stream because I have to talk about this. But during the game, bro, I'm hanging out with one of my lady friends. I'm at her house. She's a San Antonio Spurs fan. And the first half happens, they get up big. I'm like, cool. I turn to her, I'm like, yo, I just hope that they don't get in this scenario where they start trying to shoot a bunch of threes. Like, I said, them threes not going to fall the whole time in the second half. Second half opens up. Spurs come out, lackluster energy. They're not running a ton of plays. All of the plays are being run beyond the 3-point line. They keep running these double stagger screens at the top of the key with Fox and fucking Castle. I think Mitch Johnson has some of the worst rotations of any coach to ever coach basketball. I have no idea why Luke Cornett continues to touch the floor, and why is it like I don't give a fuck if Wemby is gassed. I expect for him to be gassed. I expect for him to be tired. But at a certain point in time, and I said this on Hoops and Brews, I said Wemby is going to have to get to a point. Sorry. I literally said on the last episode of Hoops and Brews, I said that I was on. I said Wemby's going to have to get to the point where he is no longer letting coaches sub him out when he's tired. He got to get that LeBron, Curry, Jordan, Magic, Bird, Hakeem, Kareem type of no. I'm not taking no sub. We're playing this to win the championship. And far too many times when I see Victor Wembanyama get gas, his head drops, and then he goes and sits his long, lanky ass on the bench, and then the league goes to shit. Even Luke Cornett tonight played 4 minutes, and in them 4 minutes, the Spurs were -2. Why is he out there in the first fucking place? Wemby played 44 minutes. I'm sorry, big fella. You're going to have to go all 48. What I saw tonight from the San Antonio Spurs was literally one of the most disgusting sports performances and one of the worst choke jobs I have ever seen in my life. Wemby, 9 of 25, 2 of 8 from 3, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Number one, let's just start this off with this, because I love to sing Wemby's praises. Everybody will say, you don't talk about Wemby. Victor Wembanyama in game 4 versus the New York Knicks choked. There's no other way around it. He choked. He literally choked. He had 2 free throws at the end of the game, which I give Stephon Castle credit. Stephon Castle is honestly my favorite Spur right now. Him and Dylan Harper. My favorite 2 Spurs, because with Stephon Castle, that dude is clutch. He's always going to hit his free throws when it's time to hit his free throws, and he is going to overperform with physicality and defensive effort. Even him in terms of turnovers, he had 3 turnovers tonight, but in my opinion, his turnovers weren't nearly as costly as De'Aaron Fox's 4 turnovers, or as costly, in my opinion, as Dylan Harper's 3 turnovers. Now, Dylan Harper to me was the best Spur tonight. I mean, statistically and non-statistically, he was the best Spur. Stephon Castle actually had a very subpar game for him. But in my opinion, if you're going to get to the free throw line late in the game and nail all your free throws, I can't really complain, especially when you chasing Jalen Brunson around the entire game. The other big complaint that I had, this man, Mitch Johnson, had Keldon Johnson on the floor for 18 minutes. Keldon Johnson scored 2 basketball points. He was 1 of 5 from 3. I'm sorry. He's 1 of 5 from the field goal range. Missed the 3. And I get it. You bring him in to rough cat up, bring some energy, set the pacing, rough him up, that type of thing. But I said this in previous episodes of Hoops and Brews. I do not understand why it is that Harrison Barnes, if you're going to give Carter Bryant 5 minutes, why Harrison Barnes can't get 4 to 5 minutes. If you're going to give Luke Cornett 4 minutes, I don't understand why you don't reach deeper into your bench for Kelly Olynyk or a Mason Plumlee to try to give them 4 minutes to see if they can give you a different spark or some different energy. My problem with Mitch Johnson and my problem with the Spurs is that at the end of every single fucking game, Victor Wembanyama, for the most part, is choking it away, and Mitch Johnson is coaching horribly. Now, let's go ahead and let's talk about Mitch Johnson. I've been tweeting about Mitch Johnson and me not liking Mitch Johnson for about a month now, really since the OKC series. I do not like his rotations. I do not like how he favors to not call timeouts. Like, brother man, you are not Greg Popovich, my dog. You are not Greg Popovich, brother. Call them fucking timeouts and slow the momentum and the pace down. The reason why Wemby is always winded is because Mitch Johnson does a horrible job of managing his timeouts. There was a point in time, I believe it was in the fourth quarter, where Mitch Johnson had 4 timeouts left. And even if it wasn't in the fourth, I think it was late third. Whilst you go from being up damn near 30 to that lead shrinking to 15. In my opinion, the lead when they came back in the game, and actually I'm gonna go to the play-by-play of the fourth quarter because I want to be very specific about what I'm talking about with this. Because Mitch Johnson pissed me off. Hold on, sorry. Keep mute this tab. All right, cool. So start of the fourth quarter. Come in, substitutes, cool. Mitchell Robinson blocks Wemby's driving layup. Then it's a challenge. Then it's a block shot. Wemby blocks Miles McBride's 24. I'm sorry, his 23-foot jumper. Then Dylan Harper makes a layup. Then the Knicks, who kept throwing the ball up to Mitchell Robinson like he was Victor Wembanyama and missing all them alley-oops. I didn't understand that. Then Spurs come down. Vic misses the alley-oop. You get the rebound, tip shot. Nope, don't go. You get offensive rebound. They don't score. Then they foul OG. Then Wemby hits a free throw, misses a free throw. Wemby missed 3 free throws in the fourth quarter. You can't be the best. And yes, you're right. Tay, Devin Vassell was very, very good in this game. I actually thought, in my opinion, to me, Devin Vassell and Champagnie were the best players in this game. I think the problem came from coaching, because in the third quarter, the difference between game 4 and game 3 was that the Spurs continued to press the issue at the rim in game 3 throughout the game up until the end of the game. In game 4, they pressed the issue to start the game, came out blazing, 40 plus in the first quarter. And then, as they tend to do, they just start drifting away from the basket. Wemby taking a little fuck you 3. Vicky, I'm sorry, I did not mean to call you Vicky. I'm sorry, Wemby. That was a mistake. But Wemby, you are not fucking LeBron James. You are not Kevin Durant. You are 7'5". Get your big ass on that block and do that little shoulder shit you did and turn around and scoop the ball and lay it off the glass, or develop you a sky hook, or develop you a turnaround jumper. Wemby don't even have a good turnaround jumper. Hold the ball too low all the time. I just didn't like it. And I also didn't like the flagrant foul call on Wemby, because if we arm wrestling and my arm just go up because I'm lifting my arm up and I make contact with your chin, I don't think that's a flagrant. I really don't. I think the Mitchell Robinson play was a flagrant, but that was because Wemby was playing mind games. But like, you can't play mind games to the point where you out mind game yourself. And for me, Mitch Johnson, like, y'all gonna say that I'm being blasphemous, but I think he needs to get fired. I'm not. I swear to God, I genuinely think that the Spurs should fire Mitch Johnson at the end of the season and go find them a veteran fucking coach to bring into this organization to coach this team. He's not ready yet. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't go and coach the fucking Orlando Magic or the goddamn Portland Trailblazers for $12 because the new owner don't want to pay nobody. I don't really care. But Mitch Johnson, in my opinion, is not going to be the coach to lead this group to a championship. And I'm going to say this on June 11, 2026. Mitch Johnson is not going to be the coach to lead the San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama to a championship. He's not built for it. I don't like his rotations. I don't like his use of timeouts. And I honestly don't like his after timeout calls. I think a lot of his sets are like a little ridiculous. Like, why you have your 7'5" guy 30 feet away from the rim setting screens? Anyways, back to the fourth quarter. Wemby misses the free throw. Then the Knicks miss a 3. Dylan Harper misses a 3. Then Mikal Bridges misses a 3. Right? Still going, missed field goal. So we going back and forth in the fourth. Then Wemby misses a floater. Wemby missed a tip shot. Wemby finally gets offensive rebound. Then Jose Alvarado, which I also don't understand how it is that Mitch Johnson is allowing Jose Alvarado to literally take over a series, bro. Jose Alvarado was my height. Gee, I'm 5'10", bro. Now he an NBA player, so he probably got me on the weight about 20, 30 pounds maybe. But gee, he's my height. How are you letting him? And also, how are you allowing Wemby to have to guard Jose Alvarado? You got to look down and around to find that man if you Wemby. Why do you have Wemby guarding that man on the wing? He escaping, getting the open threes. The man hit a super clutch 3, super clutch layup. I think Jose Alvarado, he had 8 points in the fourth quarter. Mitch Johnson, how is this? How do you allow this? Then we're going to continue to move down. Knicks get a deuce. Then it's a missed 20-foot pull-up jump shot from Wemby. Why? Why are you shooting from 20 feet? Then Castle, missed 19-foot step back. Go to the rim, bro. Then Cat hits a 3. That step back 3. Then Castle gets fouled. He makes his free throw. Shout out to the young blood. Then OG hits a 3. Then Dylan Harper, turnover. OG gets a steal. Cat hits a bucket. Right? Now the game is within 9. Have you noticed that I have not mentioned a timeout? The Spurs called a timeout at 8 with 8:43 in the quarter. I'm looking for the rest of them. But at the start of the quarter, the Spurs were up 92-75. So we get another 3 from OG. Then Cat makes a deuce. Now the game is within 9. Then Castle gets fouled. The Spurs go back up 11. 6 minutes left in the game. No timeout. No timeout for Mitch Johnson. So you're not getting Wemby no rest. You might have got a TV timeout, but there's no room for him to get no type of breath, nothing. 6 minutes left. Champagnie shoots he shoots a 3 from 25 feet, misses. Then turnover. Then Devin Vassell misses a 3. Then Brunson scores 2, gets the game to within 7 points. Then De'Aaron Fox takes a 20-foot step back jump shot. No timeout after that. Spurs get the rebound. OG hits a 3. Now the game is to within 4. Then Mitch Johnson calls a timeout. You went 4 full game minutes. You went 4 full game minutes. And when you call that timeout, you was up 15, bro. You didn't call another timeout, bro. Mitch Johnson didn't call another fucking timeout until they was down by until they was down by 4. This is coaching malpractice, bro. He had 2 timeouts left with 4 minutes left, bro. And you gave up that lead. I don't want to ever see him coach again for the Spurs after this year. G-Pop, all due respect, legend, get G-Pop a scooter or something and let G-Pop stroll up and down the sidelines because this guy is not it. And it ain't a race thing either. He black. And I said this last year on Hoops and Brews. A lot of these mediocre black coaches get away with being mediocre because they're black. And with as much talent as we've seen from this San Antonio Spurs team over the course of this season and this playoffs, it's been gross coaching negligence or arrogance or whatever the fuck Mitch Johnson wants to call it. But Mitch Johnson, single-handedly, in my opinion, is the reason why the Spurs will lose this series. He is getting out-adjusted. He's getting out-rotated. He's getting out-maneuvered. There should be no reason as to why Mike Brown. This is the other thing about Mitch Johnson, right? Because we don't even need to talk about the rest of the game in terms of the fourth quarter breakdown. I just wanted to let you know that like they were up by a lot. He let 4 game minutes go by before he called another timeout, and the game got to within 4. How do you do that? How do you allow 8 straight 3-point jump shots to be taken when you're up by 30 points? And you have a fucking guy on your team that is 7'5" and not like with shoes on, really 7'5". Mike Brown. I give Mike Brown all the credit in the world. Mike Brown played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mike Brown played 12 players today. Jeremy Shohan, please do me a favor, bro. Never shoot the ball again in the finals, playoffs. Set a screen, pass it, keep it moving. You shot an air ball, not from 3, in the NBA finals at the world's most famous arena. Never do that again. Moving on. Ario Huporti, I think that's how you say his name. He played 3 minutes, and they actually gave you 3 quality minutes. He actually had a +3 for the game. Mitchell Robinson was actually at -14 for the game. Jordan Clarkson played 5 minutes today, +2 for the game. Miles McBride played 7 minutes, -14. That was a mistake. But my point is that Mike Brown was searching for answers. And when he needed momentum swings and he needed different energy on the floor, he was trying shit out with his guys. Mitch Johnson played 9 guys today, and only 7 of those 9 guys got more than 5 minutes. When you have a champion in Harrison Barnes on your team, when you have Kelly Olynyk on your bench, when you have Mason Plumlee on your bench, even Jordan McLaughlin been playing decent this playoffs. He ain't been fucking having a barn burner out there, but he been playing decent this playoffs. Mitch Johnson fumbled the game. Mitch Johnson fumbled the ring. Mitch Johnson fumbled the series. Mitch Johnson stinks as a head coach. And my barometer for a winning head coach is not you getting to second place. I want to see you win it. People can talk shit about Doc Rivers all they want to, and how many 3-1 leads he done lost, or how many times his team's been swept. God damn it, when Doc Rivers had talent, the highest level of talent in the league in the Boston Celtics, they went to the championship and they won one. They went twice, but they won one. And they lost in 7 to one of the greatest shots in NBA history by Meta World Peace, also formerly known as Ron Artest. Kobe passed me the ball. Mitch Johnson, G Pop, bro. I need you to get him out of here. Now, let's move on to the tweaker of the week, De'Aaron Fox. I'm going to be honest. If Terry Rozier got investigated for some of that shit he was doing, they need to investigate you for that shit, my nigga. That shit De'Aaron Fox did, bro, in this game was deplorable. He ought to be a goddamn shame of himself. The turnovers led the team in turn. The craziest part is the Spurs in this game turned the ball over only 11 times, bro. Only 11. Dylan Harper had 3, which he's a rookie, but Dylan Harper by far was the best Spur on the floor today. So I don't give a fuck if he had 5. He's still, pound for pound, was the best Spur on the floor today in game 4. Dylan Harper was the best Spur in game 4, period. Shot the best, played the best defense. He made his free throws. He was rebounding, which he does very, very well. De'Aaron Fox needs to be benched, bro. De'Aaron Fox has been horrible. De'Aaron Fox scored 18 points on 16 shots. The craziest part about this game, in my opinion, is that De'Aaron Fox and Wemby wind up being a +1 for the game. Do you understand how insane that is? That the top two scorers on your team for the whole season, you get up 30 and then you lose the game by 1 point. And your two best players only when they were in the game affected the game positively by 1 point each. If each of them would have did a little 1 point better, Spurs win the game. Period. And I'm gonna be honest. I thought what Wemby did tonight was cool, but it was horrible. It was horrible. He hit some clutch shots near closer to the end of the game, but Wemby he choked that away. And it's over now. This shit is over. Spurs come back. Look, the Spurs come back and win this series. I will shave my head, my eyebrows, my mustache, and my beard. It's not happening, bro. It's not. And I'll get some black face paint and paint my whole goddamn head black and put a big ass spur in the middle of my face. It's not fucking happening. Ridiculous. They made me look like a clown because when they was up 30, I was on Twitter talking buku boatloads of shit. And by the way, shout out to Ashley Nicole Moss. It's always good to have a verbal sparring with her on the internet. It's still all love. It's never no disrespect, obviously. But dog, I was on there on the Twitters going crazy, talking shit to people. Only for these goddamn goofballs to embarrass me like that. That shit don't make no goddamn sense, man. And look, I've been a Wemby truther. I've been saying Wemby gonna be one of the greatest players of all time. But dog, he will be. But after this series, look, when LeBron got swept by the Spurs, I could forgive that. You want to know why? Because LeBron was young. He had to guard Tony Parker when in reality, that's not the assignment that he should have had. Ginobili played well. They had Tim Duncan, and that Spurs supporting cast was good. And LeBron did not have a good team when he took that team to the finals. Now, in my opinion, LeBron still should have won one or two of those games because I believe every game in that series was within 12 going into the fourth quarter. But Tony Parker just went Super Saiyan. I believe that's a fact. If I'm tweaking, let me know. But you can't be the GOAT if you gave up a 28-3 in basketball terms. And that's what everybody's saying, that this is a 28-3 in terms of basketball terms. And I think that Victor Wembanyama should be embarrassed. And I think he should get his big ass in the gym and start working on his game. Because for as good as he is, arguably the most talented, best player in the league, he's going to continue to come up short if he does not have a go-to shot. And his go-to shot is I'm tall, so I'm going to shoot the ball, or I'm going to try to Euro step 20 feet and try to throw the ball against the rim and get a back tap. That's not a real offensive package. Like people love to say, including myself back in the day, that LeBron loved to do the half-back dives to the rim. Well, guess what? Wemby loves to do the halfback dives to the rim. He just starting from the three-point line, which literally just blows my mind that this man Mitch Johnson is such a horrible fucking coach. Like I don't think you are. Like I was with like I said, I was with my lady friend, bro. When the game ended, back to Mitch Johnson. Why the fuck? Because I can't yell because it's late. Why the fuck is Dylan Harper inbounding the ball on the last play of the game to win game 4 of the NBA Finals at Madison Square Garden? Somebody on Twitter gonna say, because you usually want the best scorer to inbound the ball. What the fuck is wrong with you? There's 1.2 seconds left. The kid then throws a bad pass. Castle fumbles it. Game over. Out of all the fucking times you should have had Luke Cornett big ass in the game, that probably should have been the fucking time. Like, I don't think anybody on the New York Knicks thought that the Spurs were going to do something quick. Dylan Harper inbound the ball and then get thrown the ball back, and then he pull up for a three to try to win the game. I'm sorry. I saw some shit moving around in there. I was about to say, oh, that's the goddamn poster boy. That shit scared the fuck out of me. I'm like, what the fuck is that? My bad. Thought I saw a ghost. It's been damn near tornadoes, all that shit in Chicago. But anyways, let's talk about De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox needs to get benched. Period. There's no way around it. I don't want to see him starting in the starting lineup no more. His privileges have been revoked. Period. It's been revoked. For you to get the rebound with 12, 13 seconds or the steal, it was a steal, right? A steal, rebound, deflection, whatever the fuck it was. It was a steal. I think it was a steal. For you to get that steal with 12 seconds left, bro, all you had to do was catch the ball and stop. You catch the ball, bro, and you stop, they have to foul you. Hopefully, you make both of them. If not, hopefully, you make one of them. And then if the Knicks score again, then it would be a tie game, Mr. De'Aaron Fox. The man fucking said he thought he could outrun him. Where the fuck were you outrunning him to? You literally got the ball and went up for a layup. What made you think that was the right basketball play? They investigating scary Terry Rozier. They need to investigate the Fox. Because that shit looked like point shaving, allegedly. According to the internet. Not even according to me. Allegedly, according to Twitter, De'Aaron Fox looked like he was point shaved. I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what the fuck we watched tonight. But that shit was atrocious. And shout out to Jose. And I'm about to get up out of here in like 5 minutes. So if you got some comments, drop them in there. But shout out to Jose. Say you live and die by the three. But they don't need to live and die by the three. You have a guy that's 7'5". They couldn't get an entry pass when he had Jose Alvarado draping around his legs. Throw the fucking ball in the air, bro. Yes, Fox had one fucking job, bro. I'm not accusing him of gambling, but he need to be investigated for something. I'm not saying he placing bets on the game, but he need to be investigated for something. But they weren't. But this is my thing. They did not need to live and die by the three. So you choosing to live and die by the three is bad coaching. As you say that, Chris Jones, it's bad coaching. And Devin Vassell was good, but for all of his energy, ironically, the Spurs did not do that well when he was on the floor. But that's why I say watch the game, watch more basketball. Don't talk to me stats because he played very, very well in my opinion. To me, Julian Champagnie was the player. Actually, you know what? Damn, I'm tweaking. That's Vassell I'm thinking about. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was thinking that Champagnie played the way Vassell did. Champagnie played horrible today too. Absolutely horrible. No excuses for the way Julian Champagnie played today. 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. He did have 4 steals, which I will say this. It's hard for me to say Castle, Vassell, and Champagnie played bad when they played such great defense. And even Keldon Johnson, like, he don't get a fucking pass from me because he was the 6th man of the year. But for the most part, Keldon Johnson still did play good defense. And he played 18 minutes on the floor and the Knicks only outscored the Spurs by 1 point when he was on the floor. So I have to give him props for that. I don't understand why Carter Bryant only got 5 minutes in the rotation today. Carter Bryant scored 5 points in 5 minutes and was a +6 for the game. What we saw today was coaching malpractice. And JG, I don't even think that they were rushing. I don't believe they were rushing. I think that coming out of halftime, they thought, oh, we got the momentum. Let's just keep shooting it. And eventually, if we hit a couple more threes, they'll be demoralized. And maybe that wasn't specifically said by anybody, but I believe that that was the mentality. Thus, you get jacking up 23s, because to me, their offense wasn't rushed. They were just rushing to shoot threes because they shot at such a historic pace in the first half. So I don't know what to say other than I'm thoroughly embarrassed to be a Wemby fan right now. It really hurts my heart that I had to call my man's a loser today and shit all over him on the internet. But I am fair with my takes. I'm always fair with my takes. I'm always fair with my takes. Now, I will say this. I did say before, once the Spurs lost game 2, I said I'm picking the Spurs in 7. So I believe that I live and I die with my picks. Now, do I believe that the Spurs going to win this series in 7? Fuck no. Absolutely not. I actually think the Spurs are going to lose in San Antonio. But I would not be surprised, because this basketball game today is probably going to be, if not the biggest, most watched basketball game in the last 80 years, it might be the biggest basketball game to ever be watched. So I do believe that there is incentive for all parties involved to continue to keep this thing going, if you know what I mean. Now, lastly, I will say this, and then we're going to actually talk about the Spurs and all right, so Spurs adjustments going forward. Let's go ahead and talk about this actually. So, yes, JG. So Spurs adjustments going forward. Obviously, you just come off of what I believe is the worst loss in NBA playoff history. So I think if you're the Spurs in game 5, you really don't have anything to lose other than going home. And respectfully to the Knicks, I still have not seen the Knicks outplay the Spurs. I've seen the Spurs out execute themselves and shoot themselves in the foot and lose basketball games. But I have still yet in this series to feel as though I've watched the New York Knicks outplay the Spurs. I felt like as though I've watched youth and inexperience and one of the worst coaching jobs that I've ever seen in the history of the NBA Finals by one Mitch Johnson is what has led to this. But I don't necessarily believe that the Knicks are some dominant force. I think that if De'Aaron Fox doesn't, I'm really trying not to be disrespectful to these NBA players because I run into them a lot, and I don't like disrespecting their intellect. But that was the stupidest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. That was the stupid. That was almost as stupid as like talking shit about your boss, knowing that their office is right next to your office, like they can't hit through your walls. It's one of the stupidest fucking things I've ever seen in my life, dog. The game was the game was won. De'Aaron Fox did not need to shoot the ball, but apparently he thought that he was faster than OG Anunoby, and he thought he was going to beat him to the rim. Which even then, I just would like to ask De'Aaron Fox, okay, bro. So in your warped mind, after you got that steal, you're running to the paint you're running to get the ball. You think, oh, I'm going to catch the ball and then make a layup and then push the game to 3 points, thus leaving them 8 seconds to get 3 points with the timeout left, versus grabbing the ball holding the ball or grabbing the ball and running away with the ball so you could waste time. So even if they do have one timeout left, they're forced to take a quick shot and aim to execute. Your ankle's been fucked up the whole playoffs. De'Aaron Fox, on what planet did you think that shit was gonna fucking work? Yes, I agree. Dunk the goddamn ball. But anyways, let's go ahead. Get out of here. Game Spurs adjustments going forward. Main adjustment is Greg Popovich call Mitch Johnson into your office and you tell him, hey, brother, we're going to wire you up with an Apple AirPod, Mr. Mitch Johnson, and I'm going to be on the phone with you the whole fucking game because apparently you don't know how to fucking call a timeout. And apparently you don't know how to draw up an after the timeout play. So I'm gonna call you and you put the fucking earbud in like you on Art of the Dialogue or Vlad TV, Mitch Johnson, and I, Greg Popovich, will be in that bitch telling you what the fuck to do because clearly you don't know how to fucking coach a goddamn basketball game. That's the first fucking thing I would do if I was the Spurs. Second thing I would do is I would tell Wemby, hey, brother, you need to pray to whatever God it is that you pray to deliver you. Third thing I would do is I would bench De'Aaron Fox and I would start Dylan Harper and bring De'Aaron Fox off the bench. Fourth thing I would do is I would actually change up my lineup. And instead of going with Champagnie in the starting lineup, I actually would start Harrison Barnes and bring Champagnie and Fox off the bench. And the fifth adjustment I would do is rather than playing Cornette for 5 minutes, I would give Mason Plumlee 2 real-time game minutes. And if he plays well, I would let him play more. I would also give Kelly Olynyk 2 real-time game minutes and let him play. And if he can't play, play more. I also believe that the Spurs need to run a double big lineup. I personally would like to see a double big lineup where you do have Wemby and Olynyk on the floor and you just put Olynyk in the corner and you have Wemby go and get his catches from the high post, or you run that normal pick and roll that you run, and then when the defenses collapse and you have Wemby run to the basket, you rather than when they collapse, you swing that ball to Kelly Olynyk or to a Devin Vassell or to a Julian Champagnie or to a Dylan Harper, and then they're able to make open three. I think the problem in this game was the ball was moving so fast in the first half, the Knicks couldn't keep up with it. And then in the second half, the Spurs were like, "Oh well, we got the game won, so we can just do what we want to do because we've been hot." But a good coach will say, "Hey, everybody, let's slow down, let's lock in, stop taking all these fucking threes." But that's not what Mitch Johnson did. Stood there with his hands in his pants like he's Darvin Ham. Mitch Johnson, you get my You Do Good Dope Award. Where is it at? Where is it at? It ain't on the soundboard. Mitch Johnson, you better be glad my You Do Good Dope Award, You Do Good Dope sound effect ain't on this goddamn board, bro. Because you do good dope. And the sixth and final thing that the Spurs need to do is they need to pray somebody on the Knicks get hurt, bro. Because other than that, bro, it's just not happening. You're not going to make me believe that the Knicks are going to lose 3 games in a row. I just don't believe that. You're also not going to make me believe that these fucking numbnuts that play for the San Antonio Spurs are going to fucking beat the Knicks 3 times in a row when they can't fucking finish a game when they up every game by double digits. So, anyways, I will I guess I'm about to get up out of here. And if you like the show, I would appreciate it if you liked and you subscribe to the show. It would mean a lot to me. Make sure you subscribe if you are on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, retweet this video. I would appreciate it. Please respond to me if you're watching this live on Twitter with what you think the Spurs could do in terms of adjustments. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment, don't comment in the chat. And I don't want to hear that. Negro, please. It is not rigged. Okay. They ain't nobody tell De'Aaron Fox to throw that ball away at the end of the game. Ain't nobody fucking tell Victor Wembanyama to miss 2 free throws. And nobody especially told De'Aaron Fox goofy ass to try to take a fucking layup when you get the ball back on a steal when you're up. I just don't understand it. So anyways, drop a like. I would genuinely appreciate a comment on the YouTube video itself, not in the chat. Who you think is going to win, game 5, and who you think is going to win the series. If you got some more longer term analysis, let me know. If you think I sounded like a jackass or an asshole, feel free to tweet me how much you hate me. I'll do it anyways. It's your boy TPJ. Make sure you follow us on Hoops and Brews on Twitter. That's at Hoops, the letter N, the word Brews, as well as you follow our page as well at H&B Media TV on Twitter as well as on Instagram. And if you would like to watch this video on your television at home, make sure you go to your YouTube app, type in H&B Media TV, and then you'll see it right there. 2 for 1. It's been your boy TPJ. I really, really appreciate you all. I love you all. Thanks for the support. Until next time, I will get up with you foolies later. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good one. Y'all keep